the emergency button and all the doors and that shit, and it just feels like that guy off Splay, right, where he's just sort of fucked up, really. There's nothing you can do, absolutely nothing you can do. But on the flip side, you have like Boom and all that, where you put a couple £100 and a couple £1,000 in, and then you've got crazy amount of money that comes through. So sometimes it's like, which is mad. I don't like comparing it this way, but it kind of is, especially in the meme game, where you're just sort of on the roulette table and you're trying to just cover as many chips as possible and hoping one comes through.
Yeah, it feels like that right now. You're right, like the ICO era. I remember that, so there's a project called My Lady, or Mill Lady, however you want to pronounce it. They just raised over $18 million in 2 hours. Just today. It's that is, and if you go, it's nuts, like but you're right, it's like the ICO era days, it's insane right now. So
yeah, there's that Dexter cap as well today. I think he's done a few things, but I think they raised 30 million within 30 minutes, like refund people.
yeah.
Totally oversubscribed, so it is wild. Like, but it's just me, this guy from one of the exchanges I was talking to, and he's just saying like, it's just mad, isn't it? Like you've got all these meme coins, or people just putting.
Is it me or I can't?
Oh, is it breaking up?
Oh yeah, it was breaking up a bit there. I hopefully that was my computer, but anyway, so well, JR, pleasure having you here, and let's talk about your project. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. I'm ready to go.
Okay, so I'm gonna give a quick introduction, really quick, okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, perfect. All right, hey everyone. Appreciate you all being here at USA Crypto Group for this AMA session. Today we have a project called Trinity DAO. Trinity is setting out to change the landscape of gaming. So with that, I'd like to welcome JR from the team. JR, it's a pleasure having you here. If you can start out introducing yourself, talking about your team, and giving us a bit of insight into your background and experience.
Yeah, of course. So thanks for having me. So my name's Josh. I've been in the space since probably 2002, 2018, 2019. We've rode the ball, rode the bear. I've still got some of my hair left, and we come from a team from a few projects in the space on the gaming side. We've brought over 500,000 gamers from the sort of traditional world into the Web3 realm. With one of the projects that we built previously, it had over 160,000 app downloads. We had about 250,000 profiles created, and it really lays the foundation to what we're building now. Obviously, in quotations, that of the play to earn industry that we were in. We've got a tournament platform that has sort of the infrastructure that underpins what you see today of Trinity DAO. So we're building on this sort of legacy and evolving, obviously, the platform to really harness the Web3, which sometimes people say we're harnessing Web3, we're being decentralized, but they're really doing very little on that. We're building a DAO that's genuinely for the community, and even over the last 6 months, rebuilding the back end so it's fully decentralized moving forward.
Awesome. Thanks for that introduction there, Josh. Yeah, it looks like you've been around the space for a long time, just like I have been. We've seen it all, right?
Yeah.
Right now it's wild, like we just spoke about there. But you guys said that you just mentioned that you through your previous project. Now, is there still a relationship with that previous project and with what you guys are building right now? But that's pretty impressive that you guys had 160,000 app downloads. That's pretty, and I guess over 500,000 gamers into the Web3 as well, onboarded them. Pretty impressive. Now, there's still a correlation with that project in here, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. So like, I think even on that, you had the task many years ago, right? When I think with the whole NFT hype, and obviously now most of the meme coins, I think it's a lot easier to sell. But many years ago, it was sort of very difficult to sort of bring the gamers into the space. So we did that obviously at the time where I think Bitcoin and anything else was sort of labeled funny money. So I think now obviously we're in a much better place. So there is a relation to somewhat. Obviously, we basically bought everything of the old in terms of code base, IP, and then rebuilt it to obviously see to see what you have today, which is Trinity DAO. So like some of the code base, but we rebuilt a lot of the back end. So it's fully decentralized, whereas before it was sort of a very, very conflicted. We were using some of the crypto prior distribution, but it was very sort of Web 2 oriented. So now obviously we're falling into the Web 3 going forward.
Okay, yeah, awesome. Now you guys are building especially a very revolutionary hub where gamers explore, compete, trade, and co-create. To bridge over the Web3 game as well. Now, yeah. So let's talk about the hub. Then let's talk about some of the key features that you have for this hub.
Yeah. So what Trinity DAO is a sort of touch point between Web 2 gamers and Web 3 games. So we look at being that hub where we can plug into these Web 3 games and obviously bring over the Web 2 gamers. So what our aim is to attract obviously Web 3 games from all chains to leverage sort of our platform and be on the other side of that touch point, as I've touched on. We're using like esports tournaments like Fortnite, Call of Duty, or FIFA really as that hook. And then these Web3 projects can solely use our platform. So some of the features, for example, is like our Web3 tournament creator. So anybody can come onto the platform, create tournaments, and distribute crypto or NFTs as prizes. So that works for Web3 games, but also works for NFT projects. That's on multiple chains. So your Binance, your Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, and Arbitrum. We're building out our marketplace. So we'll have our ability for Web3 games to sell their digital items. But we'll also create a P2P marketplace where gamers can swap, trade their digital items. They either collect and through airdrops or obviously purchasing on them games. We've also created a discovery platform. So it allows Web3 games to like showcase their top players. You can even play the game if it's browser enabled, or sell their sort of digital items directly to the viewer. So the purpose is to facilitate like assets to be swapped, competitions to be held, and therefore create like discovery and awareness for these Web3 games.
Okay, so in a sense, you guys are building a hub where, when you say the touch point of Web 2 and Web 3, like are you slowly onboarding the Web 2 gamers to the Web 3?
Yeah, so like right now we've just released the MVP. So I'll share my screen in a second in a little bit. But we've released that where right now we facilitate tournaments and anybody can come on and create tournaments. We've done a sort of soft launch right now just with our community. But what we'll be like rolling out in the coming weeks is integrating with our mailing list. So we've got about 140,000 gamers on that mailing list. And that's where we start building sort of that traction. So we'll be we're putting the flag in the stand and start bringing over the gamers in the masses. But for now, it's been a soft launch. As you know, with an MVP, you want to make sure everything's working as it is. So far, everything's looking really good. And then as we go forward with the funding, obviously onboarding partners. So at the minute, we've got around 10 we've agreed, and we'll be building on top of that, so we can go forward with the traction from the Web 2 gamers, but then ensuring there's also sort of Web 3 games there for them to see as we grow.
I see. Yeah, regarding partners, I had a chance to go over your Twitter. Yeah, I'm actually kind of impressed with where you guys are at, right? You guys not fully established yet. Like you say, you just have the MVP live right now. But you guys have quite a bit of partnership going on. You said 10, is that right?
Yeah. So when I say 10, there's one project that's got multiple games within that. But yeah, we've got 10 agreed in terms of that include games, meme coins, so like Polydodge, for example. And obviously we just partnered today with a VR sort of poker game. So we're going from all sides, but we just wanted to showcase the traction that we will be building. So right now is more validation. We built sort of that foundation to really sort of springboard. And for anybody that's sort of from an outsider's point of view, of course, they need to see boxes ticked. So yes, we've got a product, as I'm sharing right now. Of course, we've got users, we've got channels that we can build on. But of course, it's all good and well saying that you're going to do that. But if you can't create partnerships and you're not really offering the value to these said games, then what's the point? But what we're sort of validating right now is games are really liking what they see, they're really liking what they hear, and we're really right at the start of this. So all you can see right now is probably like 20% of what we'll be building out. But I hope obviously you like what you see. So very clean, and obviously very streamlined in terms of what we want to do and where we want to go.
Okay, so what we're seeing here is the MVP, right? Now this is not accessible to the public, right?
No, it's open to the public. So we just have to go through the link on shared on Twitter, on our Discord, and you can go forward and do so. So like right now, we've just done some very much basic tournaments for this week, more on the XP side. So you can go forward and create your tournaments if you want. But for example, we're just showcasing what the platform can do. And then we've got 2 tournaments that have been released from our partner, to Stumble Upon Rumble on Arbitrum. And they're using obviously Arbitrum as the, Orbs, I should say, as the prize pool. So if you went on, for example, here, you can see how the tournament's set up. You've got your tournament chat, your moderator, participants, what the lobby would be, so when the upcoming matches, rules and so on. If I went on to like one of the tournaments that I've been, so for example here, that was me who came second. I don't know how I managed to do that, but I managed to come second in the Call of Duty Mobile tournament. We were just fine tuning what we have. But you can see here I had my match chat. It was before that where I was able to ready it by seeing the users, so I'm using him. I then go and play him in the mobile Call of Duty Mobile tournament, and then go through. And as it was just XP, I've won XP. But for example, if I went on to my dashboard here and went to create a quick tournament, I can show you not only how a tournament's created, but I can show you the different prizes that obviously can be won. So if I went and just created one Apex Legends, Battle Royale, crossplayer. So at the minute it's knockout style tournaments, both solo but also teams. We have like global, or you can restrict it location. The platform also highlights if someone's using a VPN, so we can block those. And here we've got obviously the password, and we've just enabling the SMS verification. So it just stops farmers obviously coming forward and using the platform for anything but playing in the tournament. So if I just go on to generate the tournament here, you can see the UI. It's really easy, really clean. I can move these around if I wanted to, but
that's really nice.
Yeah, thanks, man. And then you go forward here. So when I was mentioning about the prize pools, the ones I've just competed in were XP. But here, as you can see, you can create the tournament on any of the blockchains. So if I want on Polygon, I've got Polygon. There's a little fee, of course, because everything's on chain, prize enabled. And then here, I can select the prize pools. So Matic and Polydodge are the tokens that we've whitelisted. Of course, as we build partnerships, we'll whitelist more. But if I went on here and created user template, there's just a nice quick way for a tournament organizer can set their prizes. So right now I'll do 100. That means first gets 50, second gets 30, third gets 15, and then remainder, so 5% of the remainder distributed across all participants, weighted on where they come. And then you've also got the options where you could do, let's say, top 3, so only first, second, third gets it, and so on. And if I went through, I can also add NFTs as prizes. I don't have any in my wallet right now, but they can be done. So first, second, and third, fourth, for example, whatever you set. And that becomes really interesting, right? Because it's not just about Web3 games. If you've got an NFT project and you need a way to engage your community, instead of just doing some Discord tournament or giveaway on Twitter, you can actually go forward and give away of your NFTs in a tournament, and obviously engage a certain demographic, a different audience, and then even more so from like a whitelisting spot. So if you want to whitelist some of your, or you want to give away a whitelist spot, you can go forward and have a different marketing tool, which we find really, really interesting. You go through, if you're not familiar with the rules, for example, on a certain genre of a game or a mode, we provide the templates, but you might just want your sort of custom one. So here's just a one that I've done quickly to showcase what we can do. As you can see, overview of the tournament. You click let's go, and the tournament comes into like a pending state. So you'd have to pay the service fee and then the prize pool, what you've set. And that's all it would be. And they would, once that's paid, you'd see it within this part of the platform. So that's what we have right now. So you can see here, like everything we've thought about in very detail. So you've got player, moderator, organizer views. You've got like the global chat, which will be linked to like the news. So any user generated content, stuff that's happening on the platform, Web3 games are partners, all this would sort of become like a hub. So nice discovery place. And you can have everything from like tournaments for you can have games for you, as you can imagine how that would obviously grow. And then again, let's say if I just went on my profile quickly so I can showcase what we have on here. Here's some like stats that I've got, right? So I've played in one tournament, 3-1 in terms of win to loss ratio. And this becomes really interesting when you build that out for the different Web3 games. You can plug that into like discoverability on leaderboards for players, and it brings a sort of a nice hook of retention for different gamers and different games. So that's what we've got right now. And this is, as I said, right, about 20% of what we're really going to be building. I'm just like quickly just showcasing you some of the features that we have. These can be obviously PFP with the NFTs that we do whitelist eventually. But so the actual real, I suppose, juicy core features of what's coming in the next few months. So we're finalizing the marketplace at the minute. So we've got a proof of concept with that, building on really the UI that you can see right now. And that's going to be released shortly. The same with the swaps and obviously the discovery side very soon.
Wow, I mean, yeah, the MVP, it looks really streamlined and efficient. I love it. Yeah, you know, I had a few projects, gaming projects that trying to implement almost very similar to what you guys are doing, but I've not, I never saw like an actual build out, like even an MVP like this. This is actually really nice looking, well designed.
Yeah, I'm good to hear, man. Good to hear. Yeah, we worked a lot of time on it. There's lots of optimization. We've I think took forward the learnings evolved and put forward something that we believe is a good balance between like what Web3 gaming should be, but just as a real platform as a whole. So like I haven't showed you that part. For example, when you first log into the platform, we have like our socials, so you can just log in from one of your socials, so your Discord, Facebook, for example, and once you log in, the platform just automatically generates your wallet, and so it would be here. So gamers really, from a Web2 point of view, don't really see or feel, if you want to call it that, the technology. We've removed the friction and the sort of all the jargon, but it's there if necessary. And then like if they wanted to like compete in the tournaments or get any of the airdrops, like it's really easy. So they're just in their prizes, claimable, just like you'd see in a normal game.
That's really cool. I love the fact that you have the option to win NFT as well, not just, you know, what about the prices?
Yeah, it's
So,
I think it's a real good offer, and like not just from of course the big focus is in the Web3 games, right? But like this is more. So even just from what I've showed you, just really a marketing tool for any project that is in the Web3 space or a brand, Web2 brand that's wanting to get into the Web3 space and use gaming as that tool.
Now, like for the MVP right now, it's I wish there was I didn't see the link on the website. I was looking at the website, didn't see the link. I got to check this whole thing out again. But from what I can see here on the screen right here, this looks amazing. But my question for you is, how many games do you guys have right now, and how do like I guess how do you guys pick what games to have on your platform?
So do in games in like the Web2 or the Web3 or both? So like from a Web2 point of view, we've selected like the more popular esports titles, and anything can be really supported as long as it provides that like scoring option. So like that's why we cannot facilitate like Call of Duty Mobile, Fortnite 1v1s, FIFA. What we can't support right now is the likes of racing games and battle royale in a certain game mode. But that's what we're building out. So you can see on there we've got Fortnite, Call of Duty Mobile, Warzone. But then on the Web3 side of things, as I've said there, we've got about 10 projects. So I think anything from Stumble Upon Rumble. We've got Polydodge. We've got the Magic Craft, for example, another game. And then we just announced with Call of the Void. And there's a few coming through in the next week or so. One project that's got about 5 or 6 games within their sort of ecosystem.
I see. Okay. Yeah, definitely. If you guys don't have the link to your MVP on the website, yeah, definitely put that on there because I think that's actually I didn't know that you guys actually have the MVP live. I read on it, but I didn't know it was actually released already.
Yeah, we just like as I said, it was more of a soft launch, so we released it to the community, put it in on Twitter, and we hadn't linked it on from the website. We're just making sure everything was running smoothly. So that's something that we'll be pushing out. I think really should be once the sales finish today. That's you can see where the button is, so that's where obviously you'll go forward with the platform. So yeah, I'll share that in the main. Where do you want me to share that?
Yeah. DM me, and after this, we will recap everything. I will repin everything that we talk about, including the MVP link as well. And let's talk regarding the sales guy. How many hours do we have left here on the sales?
Yeah, Johnny, we've only got an hour and a half left, so it's obviously very limited in terms of what's left on that on timing wise. So we opened it up it was for the community. So we made like the first round exclusive to sort of the community involved. Was gated access within the Discord. I'm trying to keep it sort of under the radar, and even now we've just started to speak about it. We want to make sure we had the sort of community obviously first chance to partake. So we raised around $50,000. But what we'll look at doing is the sort of the remaining allocation on other platforms before we start kind of going forward with the momentum on the pre-sale and the IDO.
Okay, so the current sale right now. This is your second round, correct? Or is this your first one?
Yeah, well, so what we did a very quick raise, like less than I think it was like 36 hours. And there's a few people complaining that they didn't have enough time. So we opened up again to the community. But it was just the remaining allocation that we had for the sort of community round. So it is technically the second sale, but really it's still the community round. So the prices are the same, very sort of low right now. I think half of what it will be on the IDO. But we tried to, I suppose, community first, like everything that we've been doing, right? So we tried our very best to ensure that community had the ability to participate before we start like kind of gaining the momentum and traction online.
I see. And apparently you guys will also, like you said, you guys will trying to raise money on the platform as well. Do you have a hard cap in mind yet, or just kind of see as you go?
With this round it was $60,000
A total.
And that was just gonna, like, everything that we've been raising really was just enough for us to get what we needed and like our ducks in a row. So for example, this one was very much raising the money to get all our contracts audited, to go forward and get the DAO established with the right wrappers, or legal wrappers, and then starting to sort of gather or gain that traction with the marketing for the pre-sale and IDO. So that hard cap was very small, we believe right now, but it's just enough for us to get going. So from now moving forward, we believe obviously we've kind of ticking the boxes from like a traction point of view. The MVP's released. You can see obviously the level of that. We've got partnerships on board, and obviously we've got the support from our community with around $50,000. So we believe we're ready to sort of move forward now. Ready to move forward on that one.
I see. Now, do you have like a date that you think that like the pre-sale to the actual launch date? Do you have like a tentative date on that yet?
Yeah, so that'll be next month. That's what we're hoping to release on that side. So we've done the pre-sales around $700,000 and the IDO around $500,000. That's what we've got set in terms of the allocations of the tokens and obviously the prices that align with that.
Okay, yeah, that's actually not much considering what are you guys trying to build out? Now the MVP, when you say next month, do you foresee that you guys would get to the point where you will slowly moving away the MVP towards the actual product itself, like around like a month from now as well, or?
Yeah, well, it's all going to be about once the marketplace is launched and the swaps. So at that point, then we believe we've got like a more thorough offering from a platform point of view, and then we can open it up, which will allow us to sort of remove that MVP tag.
Right. But from the MVP right now, sorry if I ask so many questions right now, because I I think what you have right now is really special. I love the design and the efficiency of what you just showed me here. I gotta check it out after this further. But what you have right now, the MVP to the actual product line, like, is that still a lot of work left, right?
There's a bit, but like I think we want to just release something for the community to showcase what we built. But once we got the marketplace and the swaps, and then obviously that would be removing the tagline of MVP. So probably the next few months, I'd say, would be ready. But we've already got a proof of concept with the marketplace. But we're trying to sort of manage expectations at that. I'm really a believer that actions speak louder than words. So we don't want to be setting ourselves up to fail on that basis. So we're looking at the product sort of really being out Q2. But we just have to see. So at the minute we're working on the marketplace and we've got proof of concept. All the tests are successful, but obviously things can happen. So we just have to see on that side. But we're looking, obviously Q2 is going to be where everything will be launched.
And and sometimes actually, like you say, you need to really make sure that things are moving correctly, right? So that's what the MVP is for, to see the feedback, adjust, make adjustment if need to, etc. So yeah, it's actually very crucial. Yeah, man, I think that's actually really awesome. Like I said, I have a few projects coming in, but I never seen this far of a progress. I think Fred is part of your team. I'm gonna go ahead and unmute him. So Fred, if you're from the team, I just unmuted you. But we are in the middle of the AMA.
Yeah, thank you very much. Terribly sorry for this late arrival. But please continue, guys. Sorry.
Oh, hey, Fred, it's all right. Are you from the team?
Yes, co-founder. So
okay. So you okay? Good. Yeah, so before you guys, so there were some questions, and I'm going to repeat it, but before you guys came in here, there were some questions. Actually, I saw like 3 people, and they were questioning whether they can actually buy it. So what is happening is that, so I went over there and actually tested myself. So what is happening is that on other Launchpad, when you hit max, it actually just read off what you have on the wallet, right? So on DXL, when you hit max, it reads off the maximum amount you can contribute. So it tells you, so the automatically it just pops up the maximum amount. But if you do not have that amount in your wallet, that's why it doesn't go through. So if some of you guys just hit max, you go to let's say ping sale or etc., you hit max, it reads off your wallet. Here you have to actually input manually in accordance to what you have in your wallet. So that's probably why you guys transaction didn't go through.
So that makes sense. That makes all sense. Because of the minimum maximum contributions, right? We have it set up at 60,000 when it should be like $100 or 150, something like that, to actually limit the contributions. Yeah, yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, because if you go to Pink Sale or the other places, you hit max, it just read off what you have in your wallet, right? And it just automatically input what you have in your wallet. DXL, it reads the maximum amount that's allowed to be contributed. And if you don't have the number, it will not send it through. So that could be the problem why some of you guys couldn't contribute it there.
That makes sense.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, so we're looking at, even because we had a few people come through in terms of wanting to use USDC or Tether as a buying option. And at the minute it's on Matic. So I think depending on how it goes in the next hour or so, we'll probably look at using the remaining of this allocation for the community sale on another platform. So just give anybody that hasn't had the ability or put off for whatever reason the sort of, I suppose, the portal to buy into Trinity DAO.
Okay. Now, one thing that really stands out when I was actually going through your project, there's under your the competition, and where you actually can play to own. You can actually own assets and I guess eventually trade those assets eventually. Can you put more emphasis on that?
Yeah, I'll let Fred speak because I've chatted. This will be my 10th AM. I was ready to wave the white flag at the start. So go on, Fred. I'll let you take.
He has been going for it brutally. So basically, it's when you participate in games, and now basically the concept was that the whole offering of gaming assets in the Web3, everything is segregated and separated by multiple Web3 marketplaces that don't exactly focus on the games themselves, right? And the assets that those games have. So we looked at like some Web2 alternatives, as for example Steam, and we looked at it and we were like, well, wait, these guys, they actually have a marketplace inside where assets of the games themselves can be traded and they are available, right? So we decided to kind of get that concept and turned it into Web3 by itself. That where if you get an asset from a game that you are playing, and we all know that Web3, the game is going to be onboarded. I think Josh probably touched the numbers, right? Like it's like by multiples of millions of gamers every year onboarding Web3. We are hoping that it gets to a point, and we are quite sure it will, where you are playing a game and you gain like an asset, right? You get a sword, for example, from a loot box or from a dead corpse next to you, from someone you killed, or from a player that's laying around on an open world experience, and you get that sword, and that sword is inside your wallet. And then you actually want to sell the sword that you gain. You can actually monetize from things. Well, for example, in games like Fortnite, right? You get a weapon, you find a weapon on the floor or next to a body, you get that weapon. But when the game goes away, that weapon is not yours, right? It's not in your wallet. So that's what we are going for. We are going for give the opportunities for gamers to actually monetize from the things they get and they gain in game. So that's what our marketplace is about. You have gaming assets, you get gaming assets, gaming weapons or hats, whatever, cosmetics, and you have a place to sell them. But then there's another feature, and that's the feature that personally I find the most attractive in all of these in a way, but also I'm a gamer at heart, always have been. It's the peer-to-peer trading. So you have a weapon from a game and you want to change that weapon from a car from another game. We are going to allow that because at the end of the day, these are nothing but NFTs. So you can actually make these trades. You can trade one NFT for another that belongs to a certain game. So that's what we are trying to achieve here. Not only a marketplace for gaming assets, but also to give the players, the users, and the gamers the opportunity, and collectors, the opportunity of swapping one asset for another. Right? So that's what we are going for.
That's really, that's really awesome, because I feel like if implemented that strategy correctly, I feel like there's always an incentive, right, to play the game, right? And because like you said, there's opportunities to monetize of, I guess, what you earn in the game, and you actually own it, right? So that's actually really important versus like today, you're right. You just play a game, you may pick up a sword, but when you're done, it's over with, right? So imagine if you actually play the game and you own like an asset like that, where let's say you pick up a sword on the ground, whatever, you have to go beat up somebody and you take the sword away from them and you actually own that. And then you have an opportunity to actually monetize that, sell that, or trade that, right? So I can see the strategy going forward if implemented correctly, because then I think it'll incentivize you to play more and earn more, right? And it kind of keep on playing in a sense, right? Because you almost sense like you get rewarded to playing the game. It's exciting.
It's like I hate calling it like the cliche of like all the stars are aligning, right? But if you take like multiple pillars, like you've said there about like the really it's a mindset of the gamer. So like what we've seen in the past in play to earn era, you had all these games, but the actual it was more on the like making money and like getting the airdrops like Axie Infinity, but the actual game itself wasn't really that fun or engaging. There was really or limited like entertainment value, whereas now, because good games take a long time to build, right? So that's why we're seeing obviously the major blockchains only really just sort of releasing some big games. That's only going to grow, right? And there's only going to be better and better games. So then if we go back to what you're saying there, like for a gamer, their mindset, and if we take Fortnite as an example, like my nephew literally asked for V-Bucks for Christmas, right? V-Bucks, if you don't know, is the currency that is used to spend in Fortnite to buy digital items or skins. So he wasn't asking for a car. Well, he wouldn't ask for a car, but he wasn't asking for a bike. He wasn't asking for trainers. He was asking for some currency to buy skins to make himself look cool with his friends. It wasn't any performance enhancement, anything like that, just to look cool while playing this game, right? So the mindset is there in terms of acquiring digital currencies or like cryptocurrencies and digital items like NFTs. So that's already there. So then it's right, okay, well, once you have that, and as you've offered there, like this sort of value add aspect, if these gamers will eventually have that ultimatum where they can play in this the traditional world where they can put money and time into a game, but they can never extract it out, right? And accounts could get banned. Then they have to then buy the next game. Whereas in the Web3 game, they can get all that fun element, play with their friends. But on top of it, they have that ownership of their items. They have the ability to then sell those items. They have the ability to swap those items. And if that game blows up and they're one of the first players to partake in that game and there's a big demand for it, then again, they potentially can make money off it. And that is, it's coming there. So when I'm saying the stars are aligning, like where we have the games, Web3 games ready, you have the look at like the actual adoption of the space. So Fred obviously touched on about the numbers, right? If you look at the Web3 space last year, at the end of last year, it was about 1 million unique users into Web3. They're saying this year about 5 million, which might sound a lot, might sound nothing, right? And it is definitely absolutely nothing if you compare that to the traditional gamer market, which is about 3.2 billion gamers. So last year alone, it was something like 0.01% of gamers are actually partaking in Web3. So then when you have a platform like Trinity DAO that's positioned itself where it can actually offer that value we've discussed there, and as the tide rises in Web3, we're only looking at taking a small cut of that. And there's a real opportunity there for not just the platform, but to the community as a whole going forward.
100%. I think the game industry and the gaming narrative is the biggest narrative going on right now on Web3, and it is the biggest industry in Web2. I mean, just every industry, gaming is huge, right? And like you said, it's probably 1% is on Web3 right now, which is crazy. So, yeah, I mean, from what I can see, I think definitely can see that you guys are in alignment of what is going to happen, right? In a good position. Because from what I saw, what you showed me in the MVP, man, it's efficient, and that's actually very crucial, right? create tournaments, and you need efficiency like that in order to get that adoption into the Web3.
And then there's like a whole user journey when it comes to the platform, right? And I don't know if I'm supposed to explain this, but I'm going to give you guys like an inside view on how everything ends up happening. So one of the main ideas with the tournaments too, it's the fun element on the platform and the competition element, right? And that's something that generates dopamine at the end of the day. So when we have these tournaments happening and players get tokens or they get like a prize in the shape of an NFT, they have a place immediately where to sell it, right? And they can actually monetize immediately from the prize they won. And then imagine that they sell it for USDT because or USDC because we or BNB or because we are cross-chain, right? We are even omni-chain because we are implementing layer 0 into it. So we basically have the ability of supporting any chain as long as they are EVM right now. They are based on Ethereum like L2s. We can be on any L2. So we, at the same time that players get the prizes and they are able to sell them, we generate an economic loop here where the player can either off-ramp and get out of the platform and just enjoy the earnings, or the player can actually continue the loop by buying an asset from someone else. And we are developing a feature where the profiles of the players, they have the assets that they won. So you can actually place bids too on the items that they sell. So we are trying to foster here an economic loop and an economic cycle in a sense that has replayability to it. So it's constantly ongoing, and that gives us sustainability because the token is super important for the platform in terms of access and unlocking a lot of features, but also can be given as prize. But at the same time, the token itself has a burning curve to it. So every time a tournament happens, and this is something to counter what we saw in the past when it came to play to earn, where we just saw token inflation, we saw brutal tokenomics, price just dumping as tokens were being given. We have the opposite. As tokens are being given, they are being burned, and an almost proportional ratio to it, right? So every time one single unit of Lycan is released, 0.75 is being burned. So because we are trying to go for stability when it comes to the tokenomics too. I mean, we have a lot going on here. Everything has been thought out for more than a year and a half. We've been like doing simulations when it comes to the tokenomics, predicting several scenarios of what can happen. Because at the end of the day, what we want to be is sustainable, and we want the token to actually be useful, not the token just for the sake of it. So, I mean, we want not only to offer a platform that caters to gamers' needs, that gives that dopamine that they want, but also gives to the degens, the collectors, the traders, a place to be when it comes to the gaming ecosystem.
100%. Yeah. So I think having the marketplace like that, I think is actually very important, right? So that way gamers can go trade and upgrade or buy, sell, and monetize what they earn or what they own. So I think that's actually very crucial versus what we have today. Now today, you have the game industry, like Fortnite, whatever, like you said, they literally own everything, right? 100% of everything. So I think Web3 is the way to go. It's the only way to go, going forward there. I was going to ask you, how long have you guys been working on the project, actually? So you say it's been a year, huh?
Well, partially a year and a half in the new concept. The technology itself, the tournament part and everything that's underlying it, I mean, it has been an intensive grind for 4 years by devs, so this has been in the making for a long time, and I think we are at a point where we can actually put it out.
So how were you guys, where did you guys get the money early on?
Well, it came from validators. Basically, there was a validator on Polygon from the experience of our devs, and we're basically a Polygon validator.
I see. Okay. Sounds good, guys. Just to remind everyone, guys, that the pre-sale, you guys have the private sale right now, you guys have how many hours left? 2 hours left around there to get at. So this is probably, I would say, this is the cheapest round that they will see again, right? I mean, this is going to be the cheapest round The next one's going to be the pre-sale, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This is 0.0046 Matic per token, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Dollar.
Okay.
Dollars. Okay. So it's basically the same price now.
Okay.
Matic is very close to the dollar right now.
Yeah. So
$1.
Matic is Polygon.
Yeah.
If you guys are listening now, you guys what you hear, and you guys have not use Polygon, yes, Polygon is Matic. You guys MetaMask, you guys can actually just YouTube that. Usually that's what I do. Just go on YouTube how to set up MetaMask to Polygon. Very easy. Actually, I use Polygon a lot too. Actually, it's very, very, very cheap over there.
Yeah, sub-cent, like the fees, the gas, so to say, doesn't even reach 1 cent of a dollar.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's instant, super fast. Like Polygon is a very good L2.
Very, very good. Very good. Donald Trump, he released his NFT through Polygon, and it sold out in like minutes. So I thought it was kind of funny, but
that's funny.
All right, guys. Well, I think we kind of pretty much cover everything, guys. I think I really like the project. I really do, and I, not financial advice, but I think I will be an investor in the project for sure here. I love what I see, and the thing is that I'm not even a gamer, but I'm an investor. So,
cool.
So it's actually send me the link to your MVP to the DM, and I'll put that on a recap after this here. I would pin every single thing again. I would pin the pre-sale. You guys have like an hour left on this, guys, if you guys want to get this price. And I will put the link on because the link is not on the website right now, but I'll make sure I'll pin it.
Yeah, I'll send it through. No, it's appreciated, man. It really is. But as I've said, we're just slowly but surely ticking the boxes. We're really so passionate now is trying to build a core community, ones that believe in what we're doing. And as we've touched on a little bit already, like even in the last 6 months, we've rebuilt the back end, so we are genuinely a decentralized application. With sort of a validation of a human layer within like the price distribution, for example. We've got multi-sig in there, and we'll be building out sort of our in-app governance system. So like it's not just about sitting on the sidelines here, it's about creating something that everybody can get involved in. We have sort of governors there where they can sort of vote on the proposals sent through from the community. The ones that have voted, the community then vote on them with their staked tokens, and hopefully build something that's really, really special. Not just building what we believe is right, but also what the gamers believe, and allow everyone to be part of this journey. So it's all good and well buying tokens, but I think everyone loves being part of a journey, and that's what we're trying to build here.
Yeah, I think you guys, from what I can see, you guys doing a heck of a job, especially your user interface. From what I can see in the MVP. Now, what would you say right now? Like what would you say your competition right now? Like, who are your competitors right
now? I think we've got a few evolved in terms of like tournament platforms. So you've got community gaming. They've obviously built from a tournament point of view. You had Exceed Me. But again, they only offer like the tournament side. You have like even stuff like Magic Eden where they're offering like the actual marketplace point of view, but they don't provide that sort of 360 with the tournaments, ladder matches, leaderboards. So I'd say there's some of our kind of competitors, but I wouldn't say we're directly competing with anyone right now. But again, I suppose as you could say, like the marketplace, there's many NFT marketplaces, but not ones that are just dedicated for gamers with the tournaments and everything added onto that. So we're hoping we're building something there that really differentiates from what's already in the market. But you could look at like different market caps. For example, GameSwift. So GameSwift's sort of a similar project in a way. They've got about nearly $1 billion market cap, or just under. I think in the last day or so. And what we've got when it comes to the IDO is probably 500,000. So you can see where it can go to, and there's projects out there already building and are successful. So I think there's definitely a road to some really big numbers there.
Okay, I remember Exceed Me. Actually, oh yeah, that was actually a very old project. Yeah, but so with every single project, especially with this one here, especially with gaming, the industry is already there. You have the demographics already there, right? But the hardship comes is to get people on board. Let's talk some of the marketing strategies. Are you guys plan to like maybe onboard some of the the big gamers through YouTube or through Twitch or like what are your marketing plans as far as to get, I guess, mass adoptions for this platform here?
So from I suppose the streaming point of view, we'll be looking at like micro influencer strategies. So like onboarding influencers that have followers around 1,000 rather than like kind of hundreds of thousands. Obviously, it's always better in numbers rather than having one or two that don't necessarily believe in what you're doing and only there to sort of get the bag and then run. So what we'll be focused on is micro influencers. They usually have a louder voice and more of an influence. So we're looking at partnering with those types of sort of streamers. And the other, in terms of what we're looking at, is as I've said to you before, is the hook. So these esports tournaments in the Web2 world, doing sort of bigger leagues, competitions, bigger prize pools that obviously bring in those gamers, and then they can flood into sort of the Web3 games. And as Fred will probably go through in terms of the partnerships, as long as we continue with what we're doing in terms of that momentum, we build the value, then the Web3 games will come, and they already have their communities that are there and join into this platform that is Trinity DAO.
It's about expanding, creating relationships and reputation through partnerships, and grow with the other influencers, like Josh is saying, because everyone has the potential as long as they are professional and the values are aligned. We want them to grow with us, and we want to grow with them. So it's about planting the seeds in the right place, and then watch it all come to fruition, right? To bloom. Blossom. We are not saying that we are not going to tap into main influencers, but at the same time, it's only if they align with our expectations and values. I think that's important because at the end of the day, we want to be here in the long term, and we don't want to have the platform being shielded, the token being shielded for a week or 2 weeks, and then it's dead, and the price pumped, the influencers themselves sold and left. And we are not going to do that to our community and to the new entries here, to whoever enters and invests in us. We are not going to do that.
Right. Longevity is very important and has to be very strategically thought out, especially with anything with future earnings. From my experience, some of those problems that the biggest problem some of these P2E games or I guess project they face is the too much allocation, right? Too much allocation of the earning, or there's just not enough balance between the earnings and the free tokens, etc. Right? But I think
with huge inflation in it, and I think that's touched on before about the phase that we all went through. We went through that sort of play to earn movement, and we had a platform, you could argue, play to earn, and we obviously we as a platform, as many other platforms, was experimenting, and I think we took the learning from that, implement into what we have right now. You can also look at projects that have been and gone, and again take their failings to something that offers value for us and our users. So what we built is a tokenomics that both is really a value-adding ecosystem. So you have multiple touch points of the utility. So it's not just someone buying something and sitting on the sideline. You've got to provide the utility, which then obviously adds to the demand of the token. So that's why we've got Likened, where you can trade with special gaming assets, access to partner assets, enter into the tournaments, creating tournaments, the gaming like token swaps, using obviously the token as a pair, the governance rights that I've touched on before. And then on the other side is like having deflationary mechanisms to counter like that sort of inflation, as you've mentioned. And that at the minute that's attached to our price distribution, and eventually it'll be tied to like transaction fees, and then we'll have like our quarterly burns. So we'll have it on all sides. And then it's important really to note that from a long-term sustainability point of view, it's not only just your utility and the token itself, but also like the revenues that the platform generates. So we're looking at offering like the native token on the different chains to be the payment for like the service fee for like the swaps and traded on the marketplace, and that allows obviously for the revenue to grow on the platform, and then allows us to build and obviously continue to evolve obviously Trinity DAO as a brand. So it doesn't need to just stop at what we have as infrastructure for Web3 games. Eventually, obviously, we'd love to jump into the game development and have our own studios, but that all comes down to the community, what they vote, and where that treasury is spent.
And even the staking mechanism, right, where we give to those that stake the token, we give them exposure to other gaming tokens in a sense, not only rewards in Lycan, but also rewards from a small percentage of the tokens that are used as the RC20s that are used as price pools. So if you have a certain amount of Lycan, you can stake it in the platform, and then you get a percentage of the prizes that are distributed, right? So you get several gaming tokens in your wallet as rewards as time goes by. So this is about the longevity game and not a quick flip, so to say.
Right. That's actually very, very important there. Long term, right? Long term thinking. But it seems to me that you guys thought about these, all these, I guess, problems that you guys could face, right? And move strategically or accordingly. So that's actually really, really good to hear. Yeah, I love the project. So there's nothing bad I can see. I think you guys have done whatever you guys are supposed to do to this point, which is actually the MVP is already live, and also the team actually had onboarded. You said what a 500,000 people before or introduced from your prior projects, and 160K downloads. So this is not the first rodeo. Right. So
no. So we've definitely sharpened the sword on that basis, and we've proven that we can do it. So like what we have is in terms of an emailing list of gamers, about 140,000. So we're looking to execute on that strategy. At the minute, we haven't done so. We don't think it makes sense while we've released the MVP, but that's all there to play for. And then using some of the channels that we've been successful at, and also ones that we've been ideating and exploring as ones that we'll look to really execute moving forward once we go forward with the sales. But it's product focused right now. As you can see, we've ensured that the user experience is there. You have the user experience right, then you have the hooks and the retention, which is going to be there. And then it's building on obviously the momentum of the community and the backing, and where we're at right now is going forward to start to do the raises on the token sales. And then that really will hopefully open the doors for some real success in the future.
Really awesome. Yeah, so I think no financial advice, guys. I like the project. I would be an investor in this, and I always tell you guys, the last time when I said that with the last project, it went up to 100 something X. Actually, it went up to 200X actually. When the project came in, it's called Genius, and I really like the project. And when they launched it, went up to 100X. Currently sitting at like around 140 million market cap. They did that within actually a couple of days. So I feel like this project, like they say, I think it's going to take time, right? It's not one of those things where you cannot expect the project to just blow up overnight, right? But I think as a long-term investment, and I can see how the user interface and what I've done, I think this is a good investment. Not a financial advice, but I definitely will be investing in this project. So JR, Fred, thank you so much for being here. Do you have the last word for it? Because I definitely want to have some time for the community to look into it and actually, have a few minutes to buy here if they want to. Is there a last word for us?
Nah, all I'd say is that we're really excited for the future. You can see the sort of the fruits of our labor over the last few months, and we're here for the long term. We're really excited and want to build a community that believes in our vision and partakes in that vision. So the Discord's open, and we'd love to see you around, whether that's partaking in this sale or just coming in and supporting us on feedback and everything else. So I really appreciate you having us today. It's been a pleasure. I'm running on fumes. My brain feels like it's melting, but really a conversation.
Well, I appreciate that. That's a lot of talking to you. It seems like you've been doing here. But yeah, so thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, guys. So right now, I know it's probably like, you know, your time is like the opposite of this USA right now. So thank you again for being here, guys. And once you're done an AMA with us, if there's any update and you kind of, you know, come into the room, let us know. We are fully supportive with any project. It's legit. As long as you guys legit, we will support you. And I look forward to maybe have another AMA with you later down the line in a month or so, or when you guys actually you know, do your IDO or launching the project.
Yeah, we'd love to be back, 100%. Yeah, so we'll share you the updates, keep you on board, and yeah, you know where we are. So thanks again.
That sounds good, guys. So you guys have 40 minutes, and the link is actually on the banner there, guys. And I will recap and post the link again along with that the MVP link here, because I did not see the MVP. Actually, all surprised to me. It was not on the website, but from what I can see, it looks really efficient and streamlined. So it's really awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, guys. I'm going to go ahead and pick one winner. Actually, you know what, JR, if you're still here, if you can scroll down, just pick one winner. We usually give a listener like a $15. So you can just randomly pick a winner. So that way it doesn't come that you know, I'm picking my own community, whatever. Can you just pick one for me really quick?
Yeah, I've AJ. Says AJ. The Jamaican flags. I just scrolled down and stopped.
All right, AJ. AJ, go ahead and DM me, AJ. Okay, AJ, I see it there. Awesome, AJ. So congratulations, guys. So when I open this room up, we can go ahead and just do a random number 2. I'm not sure how many listeners we have right now, but just do 1 to 200, 5 guesses only, and we'll do another $10 winner over there as well. All right, guys, I'm gonna close this down so that way if you guys can, you know, there's like 30 minutes left. You guys decide to buy on the pre-sale, and I'll put up the link and all that as well. Thank you, Fred, Josh. I will send you guys, usually we'll get this video uploaded to YouTube, and we'll actually send you the copy as well. And yeah, I look forward to see you again sometime down the line. Thank you so much.
Likewise. Thank you very much.
Take care, man. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Cheers,
bye-bye.
bye-bye.